SeQuential produces biofuel more than 600,000 gallons a month, so in volume. And there's two parts of the business. There's a used cooking oil pickup portion of the business that heavily uses road net, where we collect used cooking oil from restaurants. We gather that into depots and then move that back as raw material for biofuel production in Salem, Oregon. And then we sell the biofuel, and we also have our fleet of trucks includes trucks that pick up the used cooking oil as well as delivery trucks that deliver the finished fuel. The original desire of the company was to keep used cooking oil out of landfills. The original processing technology was developed in Oahu, in Hawaii, and then moved to Oregon. And so the original thrust was to be environmentally friendly from that perspective, but also just to service restaurants and to keep them from sending their used cooking oil either down the public drains into city sewer systems or just dumping it where it was convenient for them to dump it. And then the realization that carbon offsets and a lot of the environmental advantages of biofuel as opposed to carbon-based fuel would also keep a lot of CO2 out of the atmosphere, and so just the fundamental advantage of biofuel also was one of the major initiatives of the company. The RoadNet technology is fundamental to what we do. The planning process starts with Territory Planner, where we build a template for the routes that we run. It's a 24/7 operation, so there's trucks in motion 7 days a week at all hours, and a lot of coordination to optimize routes and execute routes and make sure that we get to where we promised that we would get to in the right time frame. And within MobileCast, we're tracking actual versus plan. So things like cost control and our fleet capacity, make sure it's going to the right place. The essential challenge was that with a large group of restaurants, each one accumulating material that we needed to pick up at a certain point, they had a container that had a certain capacity, and we needed to make sure that we assigned a truck to stop there before that container was full, that there's some algorithms that we use to build that plan so that we wouldn't expend extra costs to arrive at a restaurant too soon when the container wasn't full enough, but at the same time you can't allow it to overfill. And so that map of all of the thousands of restaurants and the thousands of stops per month that we're making has to be executed in a way where the restaurants are happy and we manage cost and we manage capacity. There's a cost management. I don't think we could manage costs, report costs, control costs any other way without the data that's coming back. Certainly capacity management, where we're attempting to keep the production plant in Salem full and happy. So we need to assure there's enough material coming in for that on a daily basis. Those kind of advantages are fundamental to what we're getting out of the set of tools. It's more capacity increase, I think, is really what we've seen, that we're growing the fleet of trucks, but it's growing in a controlled manner, and yet the material that they're moving on a weekly basis and a monthly basis is going up quite a bit. So the material that we're bringing back, which really allows us to produce finished fuel, that's increased steadily in our production output, and the fuel production facility is also increased steadily. I mean, a regular more than 10% per month increase in output just based on the efficiency improvements that we're seeing in the scheduling and the routing. With the fuel delivery portion of the tools, we're supplying the public bus system in Portland. They're running on our finished fuel. We have a variety of commercial customers that have converted from petroleum diesel to biodiesel. So the impact certainly in the Pacific Northwest has been very significant with our ability to supply a environmentally friendly fuel to allow them to replace a petroleum fuel. It's reduction in carbon and local sourcing and a lot of benefits that are felt throughout the community, so that's been very positive.